This video is about how most people maintain their lifestyle, how most people maintain their lifestyle. So if you ever been sitting back and you've been on social media and you've been scrolling and you see friends or family members or others and you see them get the new car or their home or their vacations and you're wondering, how do people maintain that lifestyle? How do people live the way that they do? Then that's what we're going to talk about a little bit on today. And so, if you look at it, I put up the thumbnail, you only live once, because that's the mentality that many people have, is that YOLO mentality, that you only live once mentality. And so, the first thing that we could start off talking about is that people live better today than people have ever lived in the history of the world. So if you look at from the food that we eat, right, to the transportation, right? Right now, it used to be a transportation was your feet, a camel, or a horse. Today, you can hop into a car, you could go on a train, you could get on the airplane, you could get on the jet, and you can go far and you can get there fast, right? So these are some of the luxuries that we're able to have today. I remember in the 90s when people used to have a lot of buckets and a lot of real old cars, and everybody worked on cars that you fixed on. Now, when you're on the freeway and you're driving, it seems like everyone has new cars, like everyone has good transportation, and good clothes are not out of the reach of everyone. They're not just for the rich, but you see a lot of people, are able to go and wear good clothes. A lot of people are able to have good homes. And so people are spending money at a rate that we have never spent money before. And so, as a result, from the outside looking in, from Instagram, from Facebook, from TikTok, it looks like people are richer than they have ever been. But the truth is that people are actually broker than we have ever been. We have never been in more debt nationally than what we're in right now. We have never had so much individual debt as we have right now. Why is that? Because people are paying so much money to be in that home that they really want, or we're paying so much money to drive a brand new car, or that dream car, that car that we really want. People are spending a lot of money eating out, spending a lot of money on things like Starbucks, or things like Jamba Juice. Or when you look at it, Amazon is so accessible that people just go online and you buy whatever you want, and then you can get it to your house the very next day if you have Amazon Prime, right? And so as a result, people are broker than we ever been before. Our student loan debt has never been so high. Our credit card debt has never been so high. Our auto loans have never been so high. I saw studies and statistics saying that the average auto loan is almost around $800 a month, which is ridiculous, right? That is a ton of money to be paying. And so what happens is a lot of people's net worth are not at zero, but we're below zero because we've gotten in so much debt that we have a negative net worth. And so at the same time, we're richer than we've ever been, in a sense of we have more luxuries than we've ever had before. And then at the same time, we're broker than ever been, because a lot of people have a negative net worth. And part of that is due to social media. It used to be people would see their neighbors and you will say you're keeping up with the Joneses or trying to do what your neighbors did. And then we had television and it was keeping up with the Kardashians, and people tried to do what the Kardashians did. And now today it's just like keeping up with the world, keeping up with everyone on Instagram, and feeling like if your life is not at the point where others who you're seeing life is, that you're not doing good. And so it leads people to spend money irrationally because they feel like they are missing out on something. I remember what I would call the good old days. And I just say it because that's the phrase that comes to my mind. Not that I would trade those days for today, but in the good old days, I remember you would have grandparents or great grandparents where they would go, they would get a job, they would work there for a few decades, they would retire with a pension, they would have a home. Eventually, that home would get paid off, so they'll have money in retirement, they'll have their home paid off, they won't have an expensive car, and they were able to live the life that they wanted to live, which centered around family birthdays and holidays and meals and gatherings and things like that. But today, I feel like the American dream has shifted. That used to be the American dream. It's just to be able to provide for yourself, be able to set your family up good, have a place where everyone can gather, and that was your fun. Today, if people aren't off in Costa Rica or Puerto Rico or the Bahamas or somewhere, then they feel like they're just missing out on life, right? Because today we want to travel, we need a new car, we need a new home, we need all of these things. So it feels like the American dream has shifted. I remember when the American dream was to make six figures. And if someone could make six figures, you feel like, oh, you just made it and you are set. Today, they talk about how statistics show that about 80% of Americans that actually make $100,000 or more above six figures, that they actually still live paycheck to paycheck, meaning that they're receiving this higher income, but their lifestyle is at pace with their income, or their lifestyle is outpacing their income. And so they're still living paycheck to paycheck and dealing with a lot of debt. And so that six-figure marker that used to mark a high income is not really there any longer. And so people used to try to get to 6 figures a year, and now it seems like the goal was people are trying to get to $1 million a year, which is a very interesting goal. It tells you about just the speed that the world is moving in. And I remember when $1 million net worth used to be the goal, right? You work somewhere for 30 years, you get a pension, you pay off your home is worth $500,000, you have $500,000 in retirement, a couple 100,000 in savings, and then now you feel like you are worth $1 million. So you are set and you are secure. If you try to tell people today, hey, go work 40 years and at the end of 40 years, you'll have $1 million, no one will sign up for that. Our world is a lot faster than it used to be. The internet is faster. The goods that you receive is faster. Everything is faster. And so people want to get to six figures faster. They want to get to $1 million worth faster, and they do not want to sit around and wait. I remember reading the book Millionaire Next Door, and it talked about how most millionaires, you would not know they were millionaires because they live right next door to you. People lived in regular houses, they drove regular cars, but they had good retirement plans. They had things that were paid off, and they were millionaires, and people would not even know. And I feel like today, a lot of people do not want to be the millionaire next door. A lot of people, they want their dream house, the dream car, they want to go on the big vacations. And so they find any way they can to go and make that happen and then retiring at 65 years old. It used to be traditional that people would work till 65, then they would retire. Today, people are trying to retire by 35, 45, 55, right? So that they can go and they can enjoy their life and travel. And they feel like wait until 65 to go and be retired is just too old. And so there's this fire movement and other movements of people going out and doing what they can so that they can retire early. So you no longer want to work for 3 or 4 decades. And so I believe that everything about this culture shift is not negative. Some of these things are positive, and I believe with the technology and the technological advances today and how many options we have at businesses, that you can actually hit the goals that you set for yourself, but you have to be strategic. And so there are 3 traps that I want to talk to you about that I want you to stay away from. 3 traps. The first trap is the short term trap. It's short term thinking. A lot of people fall into this short term trap where they feel like I'm going to put everything in today and I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. I'm not going to think about tomorrow. I'm not going to consider tomorrow. I'm not going to invest. I'm not going to save. I'm not going to plan. I'm just going to spend what I have today so I can enjoy life today. And I would say having a short term perspective does not put you in a good place financially. It doesn't matter if you want residual income for yourself, if you want to create a business for yourself and start a business and get that up and running, if you want to work a job, whatever you do, when you have just short term goals and short term vision and you're nearsighted, right? You can't see up close, then what happens is it's really going to handicap you from being able to reach your goals long term. So what I encourage you to do is have both short-term goals and long-term goals as well, and make sure that you are investing in your future, whether that's investing in yourself, whether that's investing in stocks and mutual funds and whatever it is. We want to make sure that you are investing and that you're thinking long term and that you're not just thinking short term. There's another trap that many people fall into. The other trap is this get rich quick trap, where people feel like going and getting rich is quick and easy. Yes, with social media, with going viral, with all of these things, there are some people that get rich quick, right? But for the majority of people, you will have a slow and sustained growth in order to reach wealth over a period of time. Most people don't go to sleep poor and wake up rich, right? Most people build, they have a plan, they are strategic, they execute that plan. And as they execute that plan, they become wealthy. So I don't want you to get caught up in a get rich quick trap where you think it's just easy, but instead, I want you to study. I want you to prepare. I want you to make informed decisions. I want you to be wise. Anytime somebody is telling you to make a decision with your money right now, that's probably not the best time to make the decision, right? Wait, pray on it, seek God and the Holy Spirit's guidance for you to be able to make that decision. And then you don't want to fall into the never work again trap. A lot of people feel like they want to get to the point where they never have to work again, which is good, right? We all will get to that point where we're not able to work or don't have the physical ability or the mental ability to be able to continue on work. But for most people, this used to be when you worked a hard job, a tough job, a labor intensive job that you wanted to retire from your labor. Today, people want to retire at 40 years old and they don't want to do any work. Instead, what I will say, this is a trap. because what you really should do is you should be finding out your passion. What is it that you're passionate about? What is it that you enjoy doing? What is it that you're good at doing? What is it that you would do for free? Because if in life, if you only focus on yourself, then that is selfish and that is not fulfilling. And so, if your whole life was just about vacations and fun, your life will not be nearly as fulfilling as someone who feels like they're walking in their purpose and they're making a difference. And so, you need to find out that why do I exist? And once you find out that why do I exist and I was created with and for a purpose, then you have to figure out, okay, what is that purpose and how do I go and accomplish the dreams and the goals that I have? And so hopefully you can make your vocation, your calling, the reason you exist, you can match that up with your occupation, and that becomes like a vacation. Because when you go to work, it's work. It's not easy, but it's fulfilling, and you feel like you are living in your purpose. So I don't want you to fall in that trap. And so if you wonder how people maintain their lifestyle, a lot of people through a lot of debt and credit cards, but I want you to make good and wise financial decisions and investments. I want you to be good with your money. If you enjoyed this video, then I want you to watch the other videos on this channel, which are all about financial literacy.